Hi, hi. Hello, 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 hello. Harlem. It's great to be here. It's great to be here with you. You guys are great. It's a great day out today. Who's outside? I'm not outside. I'm in the studio. Who's indoors right now listening to this? Great. Thank you. You're doing great. You're listening to The Bar Seminar. The Bar Seminar. I've been studying bars for years. Call me the bar scholar, soon I'll be a bar doctor, soon I'll teach a class on bars. Do you know my ex? She shows her ass at bars. Ask a girl if she's enrolled in Dritty's bar seminar. She says no, you give it to her really hard. Keep on being as happy as you are. Keep on being a nappy admirer. Keep on getting promoted and hired. She seems distant, she seems tired.
I'm not gonna dump my pipe into the fire.
What's the bar seminar, you ask? The bar seminar is the weekly seminar, the class, the talk show, where we analyze bars, rap bars, measures of hip-hop music and lyrics, and analyze them as the modern poetry that they are. And they are modern poetry. Look, they're not modern poetry. You know what I mean? And hip-hop music, in particular, and rap lyrics are always being inserted into your brain, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. Hip-hop music, it's on the radio, it's in the streets, it's in the air, it's in people's mouths, and you're hearing about it, whether you like it or not. It's part of the culture, as the Migos called their music. My dad, my parents, my grandparents, not hip-hop fans, but they know about rap music today because of the culture, because of me, because of the radio, because of students, and that's why it needs to be talked about. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Dritty Pope. Without further ado, I'm going to get into this first song. The first song I'm going to tell you about today is called Achieving Freedom in the Free Academy. Achieving Freedom in the Free Academy. Freedom in the Free Academy. That's how the song goes. I'll play it for you in a second. The song is by a rapper, Harris Khan. Harris Khan is a individual from Queens, New York, who currently goes to City College. He recently threw an event called Achieving Freedom at the Free Academy at City College. City College used to be called the Free Academy because there was no tuition. It used to be free to come to City College. And it isn't anymore, so Harris threw an event and wrote this rap song about it, about why it isn't free anymore, and why we still need it to be free. Governor Cuomo and the state of New York have been increasing tuition every single year since the 1960s. Back then it was free, and then tuition started increasing every single year. Every single year I look at my CUNY First account and the price just goes up of tuition. I find another random $100 that I have to pay because the school is underfunded, so I have to pay more money. State is giving less money to the school overall, to teachers, to facilities, to administration, to everything. Governor Cuomo is pushing an Excelsior scholarship, which gives some students great scholarships and a free ride, but with very specific parameters, such as you must take 30 credits a year, you can't be a part-time student, and those 30 credits can't fall in the summer or winter sessions of classes. So yes, he's giving money, but it is very specific. Only a select batch of CUNY students get to do it. And a large percentage of students at this school are part-time students because they have to work, because they have jobs, because they can't pay for the school, okay? So this song, I'm going to tell you some of the bars on this song right now that Harris spits at us. He starts it off with a, when I say cut back, you say fight back. Cut back, fight back, cut back, fight back. And it's really energetic chant that gets the whole crowd going when he does it live. What this means, when Cuomo, when the school, when state funding cuts back on funding, we must fight back. Cuomo and his buddies up in Albany have been stealing all the money. I've been fighting for your rights since Bill Clinton approved NAFTA in the 90s. He's about to crack open the discussion like a Shasta. Cuomo and his buddies know they don't have to give us any FAFSA, is a bar that Harris spits on this song. He's talking about how FAFSA gives less and less money to CUNY students yearly, and Cuomo's responsible for it. Something that affects everyone at the school every single day. Harris and his friends from NYPIRG, the New York Public Interest Research Group, are going up to Albany this Wednesday, February 28th, for Higher Education Action Day, fighting for the affordability of higher education, and he will be lobbying with politicians in the Capitol building, telling them we need tuition to stop going up. I'm going with him. When I say cut back, you say fight back. Achieving freedom in the free academy. Freedom in the free academy. And without further ado, here's that track. Okay.
When I say cut back, you say fight back, cut back,
fight back,
cut back,
fight back.
When I say cut back, you say fight back, cut back,
fight back,
cut back,
fight back.
My name is Harris Khan and I'm here to say I don't think tuition hikes are okay. My rhymes are real nice and my bars are mad cool. Out here trying to fight for you to stay in school. Cuomo and his buddies up in Albany are licking, sticking up the students for their money. On my block I've seen tuition double in 4 years. I know Exensila ain't working for no one in their peers. Cuomo be flapping his lips and be saying that dreamers be getting FAFSA.
FAFSA!
But it isn't even in the budget, cause he knows he doesn't have to. I'm here to crack open this discussion like a Shasta. Fighting for our rights since Bill Clinton approved NAFTA. We storming up to Albany, we coming and raging, blazing, staging, tuition freeze the staying static. My flow is like an automatic. Just sign up with me cause we number one on the planet. From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Hoffman Atrium in the NAC building, we're going to be talking about freedom with free food. So please come by. Achieving freedom at the Free Academy. 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 Achieving freedom at the Free Academy.
Achieving freedom at the Free Academy. Freedom at the Free Academy. Thank you. Thank you, Harris, for those bars you've got right there. A knack rapper. Give it up for a knack guy. A knack rapper out here doing it. Out here making stuff happen. Cuomo be assuring that dreamers be getting FAFSA. That's a bar he spits. When Harris says dreamers, he's referring to a phrase that was coined to describe people who dream for something, for a right that they don't have but they want. The word dreamers was used in the context for people who were affected by DACA, people who were being forced to leave the country. Politicians thought they were dreaming that they would be allowed to stay in the country. Dreaming, quite the condescending word, in my opinion. Oh yeah, the dreamers, they're dreaming they'll get FAFSA. FAFSA money, even though it's the money they need to get a higher education. because they can't afford it. But the word dream is about the most condescending word you can use to describe people. Because that means they're not actually going to get it. Is what that word dream implies. Because dreamers can dream all they want. But that doesn't mean it's a reality. It's just a dream. And that's not cool, Governor Cuomo. Governor Cuomo, Governor Cuomo, Governor Cuomo, no, Governor Cuomo, Governor Cuomo, Governor Cuomo, no. Harris rapped over a J Dilla beat for that one. Did you hear it? Did you hear the J Dilla beat? Wait, hold on. I'll play it for you right now. This is that J Dilla beat.
Achieving freedom at the Free Academy. Achieving freedom at the Free Academy. Achieving freedom at the Free Academy.
Did you hear it? Did you hear the J Dilla beat? I heard it. I heard the J Dilla beat. So I want to play for you another song with a J Dilla beat on it. J Dilla, a producer extraordinaire, the late great, no longer with us. Rest in peace. I never knew him, but still rest in peace. A beat very similar to this beat for a song that I'm about to play you, for the song Jam by A Tribe Called Quest. A Tribe Called Quest mostly producing their own music, but for their fourth full-length album, Beats Rhymes Life, J Dilla joined Q-Tip, Talib Kweli, and Ali Shaheed Muhammad on production. Changed the group's sound a bit, which they received criticism for. Tribe Called Quest's second album was called Low End Theory, referring to the amount of bass and low end that the kick drums had for their beats. Very groovy, very loud, very danceable. But then this fourth album, Beats Rhymes Life, which J Dilla helped with, was less low end. And they got flack for that. But I'm about to play this great beat for Jam. You're going to love it. I love it. I love this beat. The lyrical content of this song, Jam by Tribe Called Quest. Tribe Called Quest being a group from St. Albans, Queens. More Queens natives rapping over J Dilla beats. Interesting. This song is about, similar to the beat you just heard for Harris's song, Achieving Freedom at the Free Academy. It's very fun, it's very playful, it's very lighthearted. Q-Tip, Phife Dawg, and Consequence talk about a party atmosphere that they experienced in their teenage years. They talk about drugs, they talk about alcohol, they talk about women, they talk about cars, and I don't blame them. Because that's what this beat inspires them to talk about. Because it's a fun beat. It's a playful beat. It's an amazing beat. Q-Tip has a bar. It was Friday afternoon in the middle of June. Heineken bottle caps and the aroma of boom. Around the time everybody just got home from class, shooting dice, hoping the cash would last. This is a very fun, playful set of bars that Q-Tip has right here. It's summertime. It's Friday. Everyone just got home from class. He's referencing alcohol and drugs. But it sounds like a great time. This was around the time when I didn't know no better. Junie moved around in a tinted out Jetta. A type of car with tinted windows, apparently. Phife Dawg continues, then he introduced me to that hydro smoke. And I took one toke, yo, I almost choked. He's talking about what? Drugs here. That's not okay, right? Nor is he making any kind of extended metaphor, but the way that he raps it and the way that Q-Tip raps these playful bars and the way it mixes with J Dilla's beat, it's a very smooth, fun, and addicting listen. So without further ado, here's another J Dilla beat track. It's on the song Jam by A Tribe Called Quest. Yo, shout out Harlem, shout out Queens, thank you. Did you hear it? Did you hear the similarities of the two beats right there? I did. They sound like they were made right next to each other. They sound like they were made in the same day by J Dilla. But I'm still listening to them. I'm still listening to them, and I'm still having a great time. Hey, Harlem, if you're having a good time, yell, Harlem. Good. Good job. Speaking of Harlem, Q-Tip was born up in Harlem. He resides down in Jamaica. But he was born in Harlem. Another rapper born in Harlem, AP Ferg. You know he's from Harlem. You know he's from here. You know he eats chopped cheeses. You know he goes to the deli. He said one of his favorite sandwiches is egg whites, cheese, turkey bacon on a raisin bagel with a Snapple. Wow, that sounds good. He said that on YouTube.com. So he's from Harlem. If he knows that much about deli sandwiches, he's from Harlem. The reason I bring up AP Ferg right now, I want to talk to you about a track off of his most recent mixtape / album. The album is called Still Striving. Track number 1 is called Trap and a Dream. Features Meek Mill, Philadelphia rapper, recently been put in prison. Hashtag free Meek Mill. AP Ferg dropped the music video for this song. He dropped the music video for this song right as Meek Mill went to jail. This Trap and a Dream music video in support of the Free Meek Mill movement. The video is AP Ferg and Meek Mill in Harlem in a car on 125th Street in a very expensive convertible. And they're rapping the song sitting in the car, looking very cool, having a very good time. But what happens in the video is the cops pull up on them shooting their music video and put on their sirens. And so AP Ferg and Meek Mill are forced to stop the shoot and pull away. And they don't get to finish filming the music video. Interesting scene to occur right as Meek Mill is in between jail sentences and AP Ferg being a Harlem man. I hope AP Ferg and Meek Mill got a chopped cheese later. I hope they celebrated. Let me tell you about some of the lyrics from this track. There's not a lot of lyrical content here, but it's a banger. And it's a collab track, which is important. Send them people to the hood, Pope. My synagogue right in the ghetto. Off the dome, I'm killing people. AP Ferg says that line. AP Ferg calls himself the Hood Pope. He's the Pope of the Hood. His synagogue's in the ghetto. Off the dome, I'm killing people. He's spitting off the head. He's spitting right off the dome of his head. But his bars are so good, he's killing people. But he's also on the dome of his synagogue. That's the architecture of his metaphorical ghetto synagogue for the Hood Pope. I'm kind of like Noah's Ark. I am leaving this earth with a mark. I ain't got time for you marks. I aim at your head like a dart. 2 birds on my boat, I'm a start. So he's saying that he has 2 birds on his boat, similar to the way Noah Ark had 2 of each animal on his boat. But what is he talking about when he says birds? Is he literally talking about he has 2 birds on a boat? I don't think so. I think bird is a slang for British female woman. But I don't think he's even talking about that. I've heard that bird is slang for cocaine? He's got 2 birds of cocaine on his boat? Like Noah Ark? What? AP Ferg? He goes on to say, spike on his head like he Bart. Bart being Bart Simpson, who has spiky hair. And he puts a spike in someone's head? And the person who he puts a spike in the head of is a man who, and I quote, he lay on the street with a chart. So he's putting a spike a metal death spike in the head of someone who has a chart, someone who's analyzing something, maybe ASAP Ferg's money, which is crazy. That's so intense. ASAP Ferg has a trap and a dream, and without further ado, here is that song. Thanks for listening to the Bar Seminar. Rock on. Hi, Harlem. Hi, Harlem. How are you? How'd you like that song? Good. Great. Thank you. ASAP Ferg's a Harlem guy. Meek Mill's a Philly guy. Oh, here's an interesting thing. ASAP Ferg called himself King of the East Coast. Called himself King of the East Coast. What does that mean? Hey, hello, caller.
Hi. Hello?
Hi. Hi, thanks for calling. Oh, this is Sean Galligan, by the way. Say hello to the people.
Hi, this is Sean, calling from Boston. Beautiful day. Let's talk about some bars.
Yeah, thanks for being with us, Sean. I was just talking about how ASAP Ferg recently called himself King of the East Coast. And I'm just thinking, what?
The goldfish, that's not professional. Really, King of the... That's quite a title for...
Yeah, and I'm thinking about people on the East Coast right now, young guys, because there are plenty of old guys like Nas, Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes, who are East Coast people, but they're older. They're not like young and, hustling like people like ASAP Ferg are, but there are others. Meek Mill,
who... When you said King of New York, the first thing that came to my head was Jay-Z, just, with the amount of...
Right, and that makes more sense. But, and ASAP Ferg calls himself... Oh, he calls himself Mr. East Coast.
Oh yeah, Mr. Like off of the East Coast remake, dude. Mr. East Coast.
We've got people in Atlanta right now. We've got Migos. We've got Future. They're on the East Coast. They're in Atlanta.
Young Thug, all them.
Yeah, that's a lot, saying he's the...
Southern Trap, that's East Coast.
And I don't buy it. I just don't buy it.
Young Thug's Atlanta, right? Yeah.
Yes, definitely. XXXTentacion, he's not around anymore. He's in jail. Wonder how he's doing, by the way. But he's from Florida.
Florida.
ASAP Rocky's from the East Coast. But there hasn't been any, beef. There hasn't been any, people coming at ASAP Ferg for saying this.
I don't know. That's really interesting. Has ASAP Ferg ever, been a part of any beefs? I feel like he's a very harmonious individual in the world of hip-hop,
I believe so. I believe that's a fact.
But man, that's quite a statement. Mr. East Coast. I guess as far as the new, age of hip-hop goes, he's very influential on the...
Yeah, I think Harlem. I think he's a Harlem guy.
He's the Harlem guy, probably.
Sean, what have you been listening to this week?
As of late, I've been going back and listening to a lot of alternative hip-hop, indie hip-hop from, the early 2000s. I'm talking Del the Funky, Homo Sapien, Deltron 3030, the MF Doom, Mad Villain, Madlib, Quasimodo.
Do you have a specific bar that you want to bring up right now?
Oh, what have I been thinking a lot about? There's one of those bars. One that I thought a lot about lately is, I was listening to, if any of you know about Scallops Hotel. He just recently dropped an album, Sovereign Knows of Your Arrogant Face. I really like that album, and the last song on that album is called Sedans. And I just like the way it sounds when he says, "Bam, I'm Emerald Lagasse with the frying pan," or something like that.
And who is Emerald Lagasse?
He's a TV chef. That's all I know about him. I've never actually watched him, but all I know about him is he's a TV chef, and he always says "Bam." That's like his catchphrase. So like the "Bam" is part of the last bar, or the last line of the song, and Scallops Hotel kind of connects that with the next one by saying, "I'm Emerald Lagasse with the frying pan."
Who is Scallops Hotel? Can you tell us?
I just recently got into it because one of our friends, Matt, he told us about this album. He's the same guy as Milo, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, just an indie hip hop artist from Chicago, I believe. And I found it very similar to the stuff that MF Doom did in at the beginning of the decade, probably, or the beginning of the millennium per se.
That's what Milo does?
Yeah, it's just a lot of very, I don't know how to describe it, like just in terms of the production of the songs, it's very, like there's nothing too outrageous about it. It's just lo-fi. That's the word for lo-fi. That's the kind of music he does.
Cool. Thank you for sharing, Sean.
No problem.
I have one I want to tell you about. I've been listening to God's Plan by Drake, and I've been watching the music video for that song. Have you heard this song and seen the video?
I've done both. I've heard the song and seen the video.
Nice. Hey, what did you think about the video?
I mean, you always got to be skeptical when you watch a video like that. And of course I was, but I don't know. I guess I got to look more into it. But I mean, what was Drake doing? He was going around Miami, and he was just being real philanthropic. Just like anything you want is on me. Helping the homeless.
Yeah, he was buying food for everyone in a grocery store. He was giving big photo op checks to people. He was handing people stacks and stacks of money. The video got a lot of criticism because it was kind of making the giving of the money a publicity stunt.
True, that's the other part of it. Then again, Drake is known for being, a nice guy.
Yes.
I don't know if it's in that, if that applies to like that sense, or if it's just like in terms of, relationships or anything like that. But that being the case, that could have some sort of repercussion on, the genuineness of, the actions portrayed in that music video.
Yeah, but for me, I think since Drake is always a nice guy, I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense for Drake to be doing things like that. And I think the amount of money and the amount of times he gives huge checks to people, it's not like he's doing one photo op check for like $50,000. He's giving out close to $1 million throughout the entirety of this video.
That's right. Well, before the video even starts, it says how much the video costs, right?
Right, and he gives money to schools, to students who need it for tuition, to daycare centers, to grocery stores, all over, all just very, very generous, very nice.
Okay.
And I think it ties in with the song title, God's Plan.
God's Plan, yeah.
Do you think this was God's plans for Drake?
Does Drake claim to be religious, or I don't know, maybe Drake does feel like it's God's plan for him, to be a giving individual, using the fame and the fortune that he's amassed for the greater good,
Yeah, I think it must be. I think that is God's plan, and I think that is God's plan for Drake, and I think he is a religious man. And that's why I like the song and I like the video.
Okay, yeah. I definitely have to check out the video again.
I have to ask you about this one bar, Sean. The one bar from this song. She said, "Do you love me?" I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mama. I'm sorry.
At least he says he's sorry.
He's sorry. He's nice. He's apologetic. Something interesting. The quote is, "She said, 'Do you love me?'" Now that's a question. You ask a question. You don't say a question. So, what is the difference between asking a question and saying a question, Sean?
I mean, I don't know, initial thought, I could be way wrong on this, but, you know, the fact that Drake chooses to say said instead of asked maybe means that, you know, her question isn't really that important to him.
Right, she's just saying it. She's not asking it. Asking me...
Or maybe that she, you know, is not... I don't know, I guess that has something to do with the intonation. Like, I guess that's like a do you love me or do you love me? Like, just in terms of that, like, maybe that's where the difference lies. And then in that case, maybe the she in this case is either, you know, I don't know, the fact that she's saying it, maybe she doesn't mean it. There we go. That's the word.
Right. Sean, can you ask me, do you love me?
Clark, do you love me?
And now, Sean, can you say, do you love me?
Clark, do you love me?
There we go. That's the difference.
There it is.
Which one is more passionate? Which one is more meaningful?
Kind of like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, do you love me?
And his response is, he only loves his bed and his mama. He loves his mama, makes sense. He loves his bed. That's an okay thing to love. He's a hard worker. He's a tired guy, Drake. But he doesn't love anything else. Does he love his dad?
Huh. That's right, he only loves...
Yeah, what does his dad think about this bar?
Maybe his dad understand. Maybe his intention was that it was implied that he also loves his dad. But
it's a nice bar. I was at a concert the other day, the Tyler the Creator Vince Staples concert in New York, and the DJ dropped it, and the whole audience sang it really loud because everyone knew that line.
I don't know, but when you dissect it like we just did, it sort of makes sense, you know, that he would say, "Sorry, I love my bed and my mama," and that's it.
Yeah, that's okay, you know? And depending on who the girl is, if it's an important girl in his life or a non-important girl in his life, he's still saying he's sorry. Because maybe she was hoping for more.
Like, sorry, this is not God's plan for me.
But God's plan is to love his mama. And his bed.
God's plan is for me to, you know, work hard, you know, share the wealth, and love my mama. Like, and no offense to you, but I just don't have the time for...
Exactly.
Love. At least at this time, maybe that's subject to change. So we'll see in the future.
Exactly. Sean Galligan, thank you so much for calling in.
No problem. Always a pleasure, man.
You've been a great guest on the show.
Thanks, man.
Is this God's plan for me? Is this God's plan for you? I don't know.
Who knows, really? You know.
Who can ever know?
I just keep doing what I'm doing. And yeah, live in the moment. That's all you can do.
Hey. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of The Bar Seminar, the weekly rap analysis radio show. Have a great day. I'm Dritty Pope. You are Harlem. Kill it today. I love you. If you love me or if you don't love me, doesn't matter. Moi.
Mark thinks that French Montana is the greatest rapper to have ever lived.